So the course covers everything regarding popular styles. And popular styles we categorize as everything from like pop, rock, country, musical theater, you name it. It'll work there. But what we do not do in this class is we do not dig into specifics about anatomy and laryngeal or pharyngeal function or acoustics. That's not the purpose of this course. So this course offers you a certificate of completion in neurovocal method, and the certification, like the completion, they do require you to attend 15 out of 16 classes. We can figure this out as we go because I know that life also happens. And when we get to the end of the course, you'll also learn more about if you yourself want to become a licensed teacher. So there's three levels. There's the one that you're doing right now, level one, where you get to learn all of the basics of this and the foundational elements of the neurovocal method. The second level is what actually teaches you more in depth about how to teach it. You will still leave this course with the tools to teach, but the second level, you would learn this information along with peer coaching and direct one on one coaching from moi, and also how then to apply it even further with your own clients. And then the third level is what I just completed, which is to become an instructor, where then you get to coach and teach other teachers and trainers. So it's pretty cool. I have really benefited greatly from this method and from it's helped me immensely in my own singing and in my own performing and in my studio coaching. Like the results that I get with my clients and just seeing them connect with their own instrument, like their voice in a more intimate way has been really fulfilling to see. So that's why I've really dug deep into this. So before we go any further, if it's okay, I would love to hear a little bit more about you guys. So if you could tell me your name, where you live, if you're comfortable with this, no pressure, how long you've been teaching, or if you're just starting out, like that's the whole purpose of the course. If you're ready to just get into coaching, let me know that too. And what you really like to teach. And if you have something that you'd like us to just know about you, that's optional. Let me know. So, um, who wants to go first?
I'm just switching computers, so give me 2 seconds.
Great. Thanks, Brady. Sylvia, do you want to share in the meantime? Do you want to
Yeah, okay.
go ahead? And am I pronouncing
I
your name right? That's the first thing.
Sylvia. Mhm.
Sylvia. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. Great. Thank you.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah. International
Yeah,
level
exactly.
name.
I wanted to make sure I saw the W and I was like, I don't want to make assumptions. So Sylvia worked. That's great. Okay. Thank you.
Yes, in my language, in Polish, W is V.
It's V.
We
Yes.
read it
Yes. That
like
makes
V.
sense.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. That's wonderful. All right. So yeah, go ahead, Sylvia.
So
Tell us about yourself, please.
I teach for 13 years
Nice.
now,
Okay.
and
Okay.
I graduate the jazz vocal,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and it's not a BA. mm, Okay, I have BA and masters in jazz vocal, and
Great.
also an actress of musical stages.
Fantastic.
It's something like this.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I have my own studio
Good.
for 9 years. Uh, I first I worked just on technical things because I thought that technique is the most important thing.
Mm-hmm.
But then I started to learn and I saw that it's not enough. So I started to dig in
Mm-hmm.
and found out that the the body is very important and that I have to go, for example, to the physiotherapist or osteopath. So I go really often
Mm-hmm.
because I want to feel good. And then I started to study psychology because I noticed that with my voice there was a problem with the psychology things, so I couldn't give myself the voice to speak aloud about something. So, um, and then I looked at that there is something else. It's our brain,
Yeah.
and I started to try some exercises with that, and it's amazing, really. And I started to check on myself and then on my students, and they were like, "Are you a magician?"
It is
And I'm
funny
like,
how, yeah, how that
"Yeah."
happened. Yeah.
So I want to know more, learn more, and I write my own music,
That's great.
and I'm working on my first album.
Fantastic.
So I am very excited and scared, of course.
Absolutely. Yeah, I can relate to that. Yeah.
Oh, and
That's
I live
really
in
cool.
Poland.
You are, I was gonna ask, I was like, are you in Poland? Yes. Because the last class that I observed of Meredith's, we had someone else from Poland as well in the class. So I'm glad you're here. Thank you. That's so cool. That's good.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. Welcome. Wait, how do you want me to refer to you? Braden or what is the what how do you want me to refer to you? Braden or Brady? Because I realize I keep coming across two different um
Brady is fine. I'm
Brady.
just on my work computer, so it comes up as Braden.
Okay, okay.
Um, yeah, so me, I am not a vocal teacher.
Awesome.
Um, I went to school, I have an undergrad in education in French and theater.
Fantastic.
Then I went to school and did a year-long certificate in musical theater performance. And then I taught school for a long time, and then I got my master's in counseling psychology. And I work for Sonia and I are in the same city. We're both in
Yeah, we're both.
Saskatoon.
Yeah.
Um, I actually met Sonia working on a community theater show a couple years
That's
ago.
right. The Full Monty.
Um, yes, yeah.
Mhm.
And so I work for the SHA doing fully non-theater vocal stuff. And I also take mental health counseling clients. Um, but outside of that, my big thing that I do a lot of, like at least 3 evenings a week or 2 evenings and an afternoon a week, is musical theater. So whether I'm either performing, um, or more commonly now stage managing or directing.
Yeah.
Um, I'm usually doing something musical theater based. And so I'm always looking to expand my skills in that variety. So right now, I don't think that I could be the vocal coach for a show, but
Mhm.
I would love to be able to. And I'm hoping that maybe this
This will.
16 weeks will help me be able to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. It absolutely will. You'll have tools that you can absolutely apply. And the thing about it, which what I think all three of us have in common, is that we realize the power of the brain already, right? And so when you're able to help direct people into that place of focus and intention, it really changes the results that you're able to get in person or, in these other settings that we get the opportunity to work in. So, the other thing, housekeeping wise, is you'll get an email before the class. So today's our classes are on Tuesdays. You will have an email from me every Wednesday that gives you the heads up for what's coming up the next week, because there is always going to be the video that we watch in our class available to you to watch ahead of it. The reason that I would prefer if you get to watch it ahead is that then the second time when we watch it together, you're hearing more of information, more of it is sinking in. That's all, right? There will always be a module page that will be sent out in that email, so right now, like, you after this class, you'll get an email from me that sends you to the module page, so you have access to the video that we watched together today, and then as well, uh, extra materials and whatnot. There are always going to be suggestions on what you can be doing to apply. There's homework in that sense, but it is not required. Okay. So please don't feel any pressure. But if you can do it, great, do it. And then tell me about it the next time that we see you in class. That way, then I can hear how you're grasping these concepts. And feel free as we start to work through these new concepts to apply them. Try them with your students right away or anyone. So, Brady, you know, feel free to apply it. And if you have questions, feel free to email me. You have my email address. Feel free to connect with me. You can call me, even whatever. We can arrange a meeting if you want to discuss something. I'm happy as for you guys as my beta class. Honestly, I just want to see you succeed. So I am happy that you're here and want to be able to help you to the best of my ability. Okay. So we'll make sure to do that. What else? So there is a Facebook group. I can send that information out to you as well if you'd like to join it. In the Facebook group are all the other teachers that have been certified. So you'll be level one. It doesn't matter. The whole point is you have a Facebook group where you can ask other questions, see what other people are talking about if you'd like to be a part of that community. So in this class, to get your certificate of completion, we want you to be here for 15 of the 16 classes. And that's pretty much it. What I am also offering you, because this level one does not offer you the coaching element, I in the overview page that I believe I put the link in that email that I sent you, you'll see a link there where I've given you 50% off of private 101s with me. So you can utilize that anytime if you want to see me and dig in a little bit deeper. I can work with you so you can understand the techniques better. Or if you want to spend even more time just digging into how to apply it to other people. So many options on how to get in touch. So the one other thing that I want to throw out here, um, if it is okay with you all, I'm going to send out a permission, essentially, it's asking permission to, it'll probably just be like at one point, I'll take a picture of all of us on screen. It's just something that I could use in social media if I could have your permission to do that. This is not a decision or something you need to worry about today. I will put in an email and you can decide when you have a moment. And other than that, our class will always be in this same room, Zoom room, every Tuesday at this time. What time is it for you in Poland, Sylvia? Like, I'm
7
curious.
p.m.
Okay, okay, so we're not too
But
late.
I
All right.
was, like, oh my gosh, it's at 6,
Yeah,
at
no, no,
6.
no. You're okay. No, you're good. I'm glad we've got it. That's good. So I will give you this one heads up before we look at the first video. I really, the class will, sometimes it might seem like it's long because there's a lot of new information coming at you, but it really does move quickly. And the more that you can practice to try these things on other people, find some guinea pigs, it will honestly make it that much better for you. And you'll love it. You'll absolutely love it. But yeah, I'm just really happy you guys are here. So, and like I said, we're recording it. You will have access to those recordings. I will be updating that particular web page as well with these recordings and access to all the materials for you. So, any questions this far in? No? Great. Let's keep going. So, we're going to watch the video together. And this one is on brain basics, and I love it. So, I'm just going to share my screen. Please let me know if you are able to hear this. In this video, we'll take a look at you okay? What your brain is made of. Are you hearing it okay? What your brain is for. We'll see that your
Oh, it sounds like it's just coming out of your computer. Is there a way for you to get the
Oh,
actual
is it
sound?
not coming through? Oh, hold on. Let's see. Let's make
You
sure.
might need to like reshare it
Yeah, hold on. Let's
and
make sure.
share the
Oh, that is so
internal audio.
the internal audio. Let me just make sure that it's doing this the right way for me. Thank you for that. Hold on. Okay, my input and outputs are correct. Why are you doing that? Okay, let me just try this again. Okay, tell me how this is.
Brain is a network, and your brain is
Okay.
constantly predicting.
All right, I'm just going to start it again so that we're all the same. Thank you, guys.
In this video, we'll take a look at what you're made of and what your brain is for. We'll see that your
It
brain,
went back to the other sound.
your brain is constantly predicting.
So then it's something about it going full screen. That's the issue.
Here's what we throw.
So it's about it going full screen. That's the problem. Okay, so I just won't do that. All right. Sorry, guys. We'll make sure. Okay. That is so weird.
In this video, we'll take a look at what your brain is made of and what your brain is for. We'll see that your brain is a network and your brain is constantly predicting. What your brain is made of. Here's where we throw around some words you've probably heard and make sure we all have a clear understanding of what they mean. Your brain is made primarily of neurons. The word neuron refers to a certain type of cell, and there are different types of neurons. Neurons carry electrochemical signals to and from the brain and within the brain. These signals are the basis of every thought we think and every move we make. The brain is made up of three main parts: the cerebrum, the cerebellum, and the brainstem. The cerebrum represents about 80% of the brain's mass and is covered by the cerebral cortex, which is where the majority of neural activity takes place. The cerebral cortex can be divided into sensory areas, motor areas, and association areas. Sensory areas receive and process information related to sensation, such as sight and sound, and include the somatosensory cortex. Motor areas of the cortex are involved with movement and include the motor cortex. Association areas are involved in the integration of information from multiple brain regions. Different regions in the brain are linked to different cognitive functions and awareness. We also know that the brain is an integrated network that can respond flexibly to changes in both the physical body and the external environment. In this course, we'll be referencing certain areas and functions of the brain, so having this very elemental understanding of neurology will help you as we move forward. What your brain is for. Your brain's most important job is to budget your energy resources. Think about the fact that we've evolved over billions of years. When the brains of our ancestors evolved from just a few cells into something more complex, their reality soon became one of eat or be eaten. So evolution favored those who were most efficient about finding food and escaping predators. Energy efficiency was key to survival. Brains evolved to budget that energy. Every action you take that spends those energy resources, like running a 5K or screaming at bad drivers, is like a withdrawal from your budget. Actions that replenish energy, like eating or sleeping, make a deposit to your body budget. So every action requires your brain to guess where to spend resources and where to save them. The scientific name for this body budgeting is allostasis. Allostasis refers to the brain's ability to predict and prepare to meet the body's needs before they arise. Your brain's most important job is to enable you to survive. And to do that, it must manage allostasis by predicting your energy needs before they arrive. Your brain is highly evolved to predict, and it's really good at it. We'll be talking more about your brain's predictive nature going forward. Your brain is a network. Your brain is a network of 128 billion neurons connected in a single structure to function as a single unit. The network is not a metaphor. It's a description based on the best available science about brains. Your brain network is always on. Neurons are constantly communicating with one another through their wiring. Those communications may be stronger or weaker depending on what's happening in your world or your body, but they never turn off. That chatter continues from the moment of your birth until the day you die. Your brain network is not static, but changes continuously. There are network changes that happen instantaneously and continually that allow signals to pass through the network in trillions of different patterns of activity. There are also network changes that happen more slowly. Your brain is constantly under construction, with neurons being born and dying, and neural connections becoming stronger or weaker depending on the frequency of their use. This type of long-term change is called plasticity, and we'll talk more about that later. Your brain is constantly predicting. Think about your brain, stuck inside a dark skull and reliant on the sensory data it gets from other parts of the body and the outside world. The data arrives at the brain's doorstep in the form of light waves, chemical signals, and changes in air pressure. Your brain has to make sense of all that in order to keep you alive and well. To do this, your brain draws on what it already knows. It looks to existing memories, and in mere milliseconds, it assembles those memories to both make sense of this sensory data and guess what to do about it. Your brain combines information it's getting from your senses with what you already know to produce everything you see, hear, smell, and feel. Here's an example. Look at this black and white image. As you do, you can probably experience your mind searching for a meaning for what it's seeing. Your brain is sifting through its memories for something that is like what you're looking at. If you're like most people, you are perceiving only black and white blobs. You are in a state of experiential blindness. Once I show you this picture, though, your brain is able to draw on past experiences with seeing bees or images of bees so that it can now see this as a bee. Neuroscientists like to say that your day-to-day experience is a carefully controlled hallucination that is constructed by your brain. Not only is your reality being constructed, but your brain is predicting that construction. For instance, try to recall the last time you were terribly thirsty. You finally got a drink of water and instantly you felt refreshed. Although that seems sensible and ordinary, that water can't possibly quench your thirst immediately. It takes 20 minutes for that water to reach your bloodstream. So why was your thirst relieved? Because your body predicted, based on past experiences, that you would no longer be thirsty, and it created that sensory experience. Now, here's the part we really care about and we'll come back to again and again. If our brain issues predictions that check out against the sense data it's receiving, then our neurons are already firing in a pattern that matches the incoming sense data. Your brain predicts what will happen. It prepares you to act. It prepares you to sing before you have uttered a sound. Later, we'll look at how that preparation shows up as the singer's experience of singing. We'll see how your brain's ability to predict your singing before you begin to sing can help you, and how it can sometimes get in your way.
You're muted right now, Sonia.
Thank you. You will have access to that video on the module page, so you can review it if you'd like. And we're going to dig a little bit, just a little bit deeper into that. But what I'm going to suggest, let's just take a 2-minute water break and we'll come right back to this. Just make sure you move, try to have your reset a little bit, and then we'll get right into more information on what we just watched. Okay? I'll be right back in 2 minutes. Okay, we are back. Mm. Okay. So I'm just going to review a bit of what we learned. And I did want to say this, that the first few weeks of this course are going to feel they're going to feel a little bit heavy science wise, right? Do not let that scare you. There comes a point where it all starts to mesh. So for now, we're going to learn more about how the brain works and we'll start applying it right away. But if it feels sciencey and a little bit heavy, that is exactly how it feels for the first few weeks. So do not worry. Okay. So brains, as we know, the main thing that we want to think about with what we just looked at in the video is the fact that we get to use predictive processing. And that's something that we always want to be able to access for ourselves and for our clients that we're working with. So, brain architecture isn't necessarily wrong, but it's also not complete in some ways. The brain is not a map of the mind. So, something I was mentioning, Brady, just before you got back, was that the first few weeks of this course are going to feel really heavy science wise. So, do not let that discourage you. It all starts to fit and make sense as we go. So, for example, why does we know that the brain is not a map of the mind? Two different elements, two different things. So, why do we need allostasis, for example? That's the nature of our brains. The built in nature of our brain is that it needs to predict. The brain wants to understand and know what to expect. It knows what to predict. And we really have to work within that framework when we're introducing new ideas and skills. So that is foundationally one of the things that you want to remember when you're working with one of your, clients, students, whatever the context is. They are always looking for something that they can anticipate. They want to predict what's going to happen when they go to sing this line or go to say the next line. And what we perceive as one thing is usually many things, right? Our brains have evolved to behave in a certain way. And because of that, the nature of the brain is then still to predict what to expect and what's going to happen. A really good example of this for me that I will probably use a few times over this course is is really a basic example, but let's say you're going to a restaurant and you're headed to, your favorite restaurant. You already know what that door feels like when you open it, right? You don't think about it because you've been there often enough. You know that there is a little bump, or lip in the flooring where you are a bit more careful walking there because you remember that that's there because you've been there often enough to know. You also know what to expect. Do I need to go in and wait for the hostess or do I just go in and sit down? You don't think about it. You're at ease because your brain knows what to predict. It knows what is going to happen. It knows what to expect in this setting. Now, you and your friends decide you're going to go to a new restaurant and try it out because you heard great things about it. And all of a sudden you get to that door and it's like, oh, wait a minute, right? It's a different experience simply because you didn't have anything to predict. You don't know how heavy the door is or how light it was. You didn't know that the hostess is going to be right there as soon as you walked in the door, or that the menus are on a QR code rather than a physical menu that you're picking up. All of those things contribute to how much input you are taking in then. Your sensory input increases and your predictive processing is decreased. So you begin to feel differently about your experience. Not that it's making it negative, it's just that your brain is processing a lot more information because it's unable to predict what's going to happen in this setting. So as our brains have evolved, we realize that a lot of this nature and all of the information that we're coming in that's coming in, the sensory input extends to all the parts of our lives, really, which is why I use the restaurant example to show you just how much it applies to our lives in total. Even in how we create our reality, our memories plus sensory input equal our experience. So your sensory data is always going to be your ears, eyes, mouth, which are passive. They receive signals that are floating around in the air. Your ears are part of those, they listen to the sound waves, and it's your brain that turns those sound waves into something meaningful. And we tend to forget that we see and hear with our brains. It's not really just with our eyes and our ears. What we take in through those is what our brain then has to process, and that's what creates the experience that we have. So when we cannot find a memory, we cannot create an accurate account of our reality. And that's where in the video we mentioned experiential blindness is an example of that. So this matters when we are learning a new skill. There's no memory to reference, right? So we will have to reference an existing memory even when it doesn't serve us. So I would mention there that you want to be aware with your clients that you can never underestimate the power of your sing file. What is your sing file? Your sing file is the file that's been developed while you were even in utero. It's what your brain says the minute and the moment that you say, hey, I'm going to sing something, your sing file is activated. So have you at all been familiar with the idea that the brain predicts already? Either of you? Yeah, exact. Good. So we know that all brains predict. And so in this class, we will continue to cover more material that covers that. The neurovocal principles are based on the predictive nature of the brain. You don't have to worry about understanding all of it right now, but just know that it is an essential part of the principles, and we will keep coming back to it, like I mentioned. So let's talk about experiential blindness. While you were looking at that black and white image, that your brain was busy trying to figure out. What did you have any conclusions about it or any thoughts about that experience in the video?
No, I could feel it happening, like she said, though. Like I was searching for something.
Yeah, like you're actively trying to figure this out, right? There needs to be an answer to this. So I have another video here that is an example of experiential blindness, but with sound. So we'll just watch that together. Okay.
Description below. Okay, so what you've been listening to is what's called sine wave speech. Sine wave speech is synthesized, so it's not actually just taking the original and kind of, degrading it. This is actually artificially generated based on the original, and it uses by using sine waves that mimic the frequency and amplitude patterns of the resonant peaks of natural speech. So if you talk about frequency and sine waves, this of course is a sine wave, and this is middle C, 262 hertz. And when you see something that's higher at 523 hertz, you can see the peaks and troughs are there closer together. You get more of them in that one time period, and so that's a higher frequency. That's what it means, and that translates to higher tones. Middle C, or one octave above middle C, has a greater frequency, and that's the way sound works to our ears. Now there's a thing here which I call a formant. Now I'm not a speech therapist, I'm not a speech expert, but a formant is a concentration of acoustic energy around a particular frequency in the speech wave. It's how we perceive vowel sounds. Different vowel sounds are distinguished largely by their formant frequencies. Now sine wave speech is generated by using a formant tracker to detect the formant frequencies in an utterance and then synthesizing sine waves, so again it's artificially made, that track the center of those formants. If you look here at a picture of different vowels, hot, hat, hit, head, you can see the formants there are very clearly different, and that's how we distinguish between them. And then if you look at a spectrogram of normal speech, that's it here, and there's lots of information in here that our brain is using to understand speech. Now if you use a formant tracker, you can start to see here some of these formants that are used and how they're in the kind of the roots, the foundation of what we're hearing. And then this is the sine wave speech. Basically you can take that and create, using sine waves, artificially taking these vowel sounds, these formants, and turning them into artificial sounds. But that's why we can't understand it. There's loads of information missing here, loads of stuff that isn't there. But we, once you've heard the original, your brain can fill in what's missing in here with what's available here, and then we can understand it, which is absolutely the amazing thing about it. So here again, if you look at, this is the top one, this is the original, this is the bottom one. You can see it follows the same format. It's the same, you can see the same frequency and amplitude as the original. It's mimicking the original, but rather than there being speech in here, it's just these sine waves that have been formatted, been created using those formants. And then when you listen to this, you can understand it. When you listen to this, you can't. And if you listen to this one and then this one, you can, because your brain fills in the gaps. So why am I mentioning all this? Well, there's plenty of research about this stuff. I'll leave lots of links to where I'm getting these clips from, for example, and a link to this book. None of this is related to me. None of this has any affiliate links or anything like that. This is just for your information. The Experience Machine, How Our Minds Predict and Shape Reality by Andy Clark. And he uses sine wave speech as an example of how sensory input and prediction shape what we see, hear and feel. Of course, pattern recognition along with prediction is at the core of current AI research. In fact, generative AI is a system which predicts what comes next based on its training and the current context, the prompt really of what you typed in. So this really is important in what we're going to get going forward in trying to mix together generative AI, prediction, recognition, and so on. Okay, so I've got some more demos for you just to show you how this thing works. I'm going to play the sine wave speech, then I'm going to play the original, then I'm going to play the sine wave speech again, and you should be able to hear it. Let's go for the first one.
They're buying some bread.
And here's the next one.
She ironed her skirt.
They still blow my mind every time I listen to it. Absolutely amazing. Here's another one for you.
The floor was quite slippery.
These are all synthetically made. They're not degraded versions of the original. Here's another one.
The kettle boiled quickly.
And one more.
The man's painting a sign.
Well, I hope you had some fun with that sine wave speech.
Isn't that remarkable? right? When we're listening to it, I was doing a course a few years ago on working with singers that were transitioning. And in that course, they played a couple of samples like this. And I had to acknowledge that my own, like just what I would refer to as my own filters and my own predictive nature, wanted the voice that I thought I was hearing to be male. And it turned out that it was a female voice. So it told me very much so, like, we process these things so differently, especially if we don't have anything to base it on. We don't have an experience, a prior experience, or part of our sing file or our listening file that says, oh, this is what this person's going to sound like. We don't know that. So you will find that this essentially is what you're bringing people into in this process. You're bringing them to a place where they're going to be able to predict more what their singing feels like and what it sounds like, but much more naturally and much more in tune with themselves. That's the key. So you will experience, we think about experiential blindness regarding hearing and intentional coordinated phonatory response. By that, it means the sounds that you're able to make. So this is a really great opportunity to just be able to get more knowledge about how to utilize that to your advantage and to the advantage of the people that you're going to be working with. And any questions so far? No? Okay.
It
Sylvia?
was fun and just listening to this guy because the pronunciation was
Right? I know. I
his
did.
English.
Yes, yes. Even that, I was like, man, I forgot how fast he talks. Like, I did. I had a moment too. I was like, okay. Try to like, and even in that, you realize you had to make an adjustment, right? To be able to listen to him and really hear all that he was saying, you still had to, you didn't have anything to predict, right? I pressed play. You did not know what to expect from that. So that processing and that predictive processing sensory input was pretty high because you're trying to catch all the words and make sure that you're understanding what he's saying. So it's a good observation. So I will say this week, you don't have any application homework when it comes to your like actually applying this to students. But I do want you to start thinking about when you are looking at uh, other people or even just talking with people, look out for that. Are they predicting? Are they going to even predict and anticipate what you're going to say? Is your environment something that you can predict, or are you taking in more sensory input? Are you really building this on a new experience and having to give yourself that space and that time to gather all of that information? Right. So there might even be cases this week where you get to experience a little bit of experiential blindness that you may not have been aware of. Right. See what you encounter over the next week and we'll go from there. Yeah. It's actually really, really good. There is the homework and resources page that I want to show you. Just give me one sec. But if you have any questions, feel free to ask me while I pull this up. Okay, so I will just share my screen with you again just to show you what is on here if you haven't had a chance to take a close look at it yet. There we go. So up here is a video. This video you'll see and hear from Meredith uh, Colby, who is the founder and the creator of this method. She did not create neuroscience, obviously, but this is the lady who has spent 20 years putting this together so that she can help people that are learning popular styles and the teachers that work with them, the teachers and coaches. So and here you have your syllabus, the calendar. The image on this page does not match our calendar, but the link is correct. For whatever reason, I was unable to get the image to change on the back end of the website. But if you head there, click on that, you'll be able to download the actual calendar. And this is a glossary that I always find really useful to have all the terms. I want to remind you, your goal is not that you need to be able to utilize all these terms, but it does help to build your understanding or just to verify something. If you hear me say something or hear something in a video that you're wondering about, you can verify what it means quickly and easily. My email address is on here for you. If you ever can't find it, you can head there. And if you would like, I've provided sessions like I mentioned at 50% off. And here already we've got the video that we just watched, and this will take you to the coursework and resource page as well. Okay, I'm just going to confirm that we've got it. So here, um, this is a PDF on just understanding a brain-centered approach to singing. And this is the example that we just watched on sine wave speech. And you can also, there's droodles again when we talk about that experiential blindness. Droodles are actually sort of fun to take a look at. And this video, again, all of this is just here for you as supplementary material that you can take a look at and utilize as you feel comfortable to do so. Andy Clark he's brilliant. You'll like hearing about how brains function here. And if you have someone that you are utilizing or some people that you're utilizing as a guinea pig, this download gives you just an explanation of what it is that you're doing and why you're doing that as well, if you want to share that with anyone. So, yeah. So, any questions? No? Yes? No? We're good? Okay.
I'm wondering because I also studied the polyvagal mm, about the vagus nerve,
Yes. Yep. Yep.
and I'm thinking about the connection now. Yeah, that our
We will touch that. Absolutely.
okay.
Yeah, we will. Yeah, because it is key as well. So that's good. That's good. You'll have a lot that ties in. That's fantastic. So yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, today's a little shorter only because, like I said, it'll pick up. We'll have more things to discuss, especially when we start applying techniques. But for now, I'm just so happy that you guys are here. Thank you like for being a part of my beta class. I'm excited that we get to learn together. So this is really cool. Yeah. So look out for an email from me and it'll give you the follow up from today and your access to for next week as well. And then I'll see you next Tuesday. And you know how to reach out in case you have any questions in the meantime. All right.
Cool.
Thank you. Have a great day and the rest of your evening, Sylvia. Take care. All
Thanks.
right.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.